trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Doreen Scanlon. We have an ABC6 News update to top our newscast today, happening in Fall River right now. We are awaiting the arraignment of 36-year-old Anthony Miranda. He's charged with manslaughter in the weekend shooting that killed a Fall River man. Miranda is the third suspect to be arrested in connection to that shooting. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Tregellis is live outside Fall River District Court as we await this appearance. Yanni.
Yeah, good afternoon, Doreen. Well, court in session right now. We're still awaiting that arraignment for Anthony Miranda. Some delays this morning, throughout the morning, as we waited for an attorney to represent him to arrive at the courthouse. That attorney did see them come into the courtroom a little while ago, so we can be expecting that arraignment in a short time. But Miranda, he was arrested yesterday afternoon by Fall River Police, and he is the man that they say pulled the trigger in that shooting that killed Jose Zelaya. Miranda charged with manslaughter, and we are currently awaiting him to be arraigned on those charges. Now, police say that Miranda, along with 42-year-old Luis Colon Delgado and Jose Pagan, were part of a bar fight that broke out on Saturday night, early Sunday morning with an unknown person. And that fight moved outside at one point where Jose Zelaya tried to help break up the fight along with a bouncer. And that is when the three men, Miranda, Colon Delgado, and Pagan, turned their sights on to Zelaya, getting into a fight with him and attacking him. And that is when police allege that Miranda fired a single gunshot that hit Zelaya in the right side of the chest and killed him after he was transported to the hospital. Now, the two other men, Colon Delgado and Pagan, they were arraigned yesterday here in Fall River District Court. Both of those men pleading not guilty.
The firearm was discharged, shooting and hitting Mr. Zelaya, killing him. Mr. Pagan then went to his car with the shooter of that gun. Shooter got into the passenger seat, went into Mr. Pagan's car, and he drove this shooter away from the scene.
And again, both of those men pleading not guilty yesterday here in District Court. And again, we are awaiting the arraignment for Anthony Miranda coming up soon this afternoon. Again, he is facing manslaughter charges this afternoon. And as soon as we know what comes out of his day in court, we will keep you updated both on air and online. For now, live in Fall River, Yanni Tregellis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And new at noon today, the U.S. Treasury Department will investigate whether Florida Governor Ron DeSantis improperly used federal COVID funds when he transported migrants to Martha's Vineyard. The Treasury confirmed its Inspector General will investigate in response to a letter from Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey and other members of the delegation. Markey says DeSantis used those COVID funds to send a plane of migrants to the island as part of what Democrats have called a political stunt. And now we turn to the weather as we take a live look outside right now with our sky cam. It is a picture-perfect October day. Chelsea is standing by at the Weather Center. I don't even see a cloud in the sky there, Chelsea.
I know. I said it all morning. If you liked yesterday, you're going to love today. Today's even better than the beautiful weather that we had yesterday. We're looking at sunshine across the area. Temps right now are in the low 70s range. Breeze is coming in out of the west around 13 miles per hour with our forecasted highs in the mid 70s range. So we're going to gain another few degrees as we head into the afternoon. Should be a really beautiful, beautiful afternoon, and I urge you to soak it up. We're seeing dry weather and sunshine on your satellite radar image. A little bit of a wider view, though, shows you what's coming our way. You can see clouds, you can see scattered showers, and we're going to see that gradually moving into our area as we head into the day tomorrow. So again, enjoy that sunshine that we have. We end up with partly sunny conditions through the remainder of the afternoon. Overnight, clouds really start to thicken up, and as we head into tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain and wind moving in as the day progresses. I'll have much more in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. And happening now, RIPTA is desperately looking for drivers. They're hosting a job fair today to try and close the gap. At this point, the agency needs 31 drivers. Starting pay for drivers on fixed routes is just under $19 an hour. The fair is from noon to 3 at RIPTA headquarters on Elmwood Ave. And a story that's trending today. Facing charges, Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams charged with misdemeanor assault for what he did after the Raiders lost to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Adams, you see there, shoved a photographer to the ground as he tried to head into the players' locker room after the close finish. That photographer filed a report with police. Adams did say in a tweet that he is sorry and he felt horrible immediately. He says it was just his reaction when someone ran in front of him after the game went that way. And all lanes of traffic were back open this morning on Route 79 in Fall River after a tractor trailer crashed, spilling its load all over the highway. And take a look at the picture there. There are thousands of watermelons scattered and smashed all over the road. Crews needed heavy machinery to clean the mess on Route 79 South last night before letting traffic safely through. According to police, the driver was not seriously injured but was taken to a local hospital to get checked out. The cause of the crash has not been determined just yet. Now to your voice, your vote. And the Rhode Island Secretary of State's office has an important reminder ahead of the general election. If you want to vote by mail, you need to submit your mail ballot application by next Tuesday, October 18th. Mail ballot applications can be submitted to your local Board of Canvassers office by mail or in person. You can get an application by visiting vote.ri.gov. And in Massachusetts, the Secretary of State is urging voters to make sure they're familiar with this year's ballot questions before casting their vote. The red booklets sent out to voters last month do not include ballot question 4, but voters can head to votema.com to view a summary of each question. Information booklets will also be available at every polling location on Election Day. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the new comments President Biden made about the ongoing crisis in Ukraine just a short time after he warned of Armageddon if Russia uses nuclear weapons. Plus, details on the new emergency use authorization for bivalent COVID boosters that can now reach kids as young as 5 years old. Now to the latest on the crisis in Ukraine. Relentless Russian air assaults on Ukrainian civilian sites continued for a third day. Ukraine's President Zelensky claiming in a Tuesday night address that his forces shot down at least 20 of 28 Russian missiles and more than 15 drones. ABC's Justin Finch has those details.
For 3 days in a row, Russian missiles have slammed into Ukrainian cities, killing more than a dozen citizens and wounding more than 100. Indiscriminate attacks some military experts consider desperate, raising concerns Russia's President Putin could feel pressure to launch tactical nuclear weapons, something President Biden tells CNN could lead to Armageddon.
And the whole point I was making was it could lead to just a horrible outcome. And not because anybody intends to turn it into a world war or anything, but it just, once you use a nuclear weapon, the mistakes that can be made, the miscalculations, who knows what would happen.
The president saying he now does not actually believe Putin will use nuclear weapons, describing Putin as rational, but who miscalculated in waging war on Ukraine. Meeting virtually with Ukraine's President Zelensky Tuesday, Biden, along with the G7 group of nations, pledged more financial and military support for Ukraine. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin meeting with NATO partners today.
We will continue to boost Ukraine's defensive capabilities for today's urgent needs and for the long haul.
Zelensky calling on the West to fast-track air defense systems to combat Russia's air assaults. Emergency workers scrambling to rescue children and families. The United Nations Nuclear Watchdog Agency reports the Zappariza nuclear plant is now using generator power after Russian attacks in the area knocked out external electricity to the plant. Today, Russia's intelligence service reporting it's made 8 arrests in connection to last weekend's bombing of the strategic Kerch Strait bridge to Crimea, which Putin says prompted him to launch that barrage of air assaults across Ukraine. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Well, still to come on ABC6 News at noon, those new details on the FDA's emergency use authorization that will now allow Omicron-specific boosters for kids as young as 5. Plus, Chelsea has a look at your full 7-day forecast right after this. In your health news today, the FDA has given emergency use authorization to updated COVID boosters for kids as young as 5. The CDC must recommend the shots to that age group before they can be administered. They target the original coronavirus strain and the Omicron BA4 and 5 subvariants. The updated Pfizer booster received FDA authorization Wednesday for use in kids ages 5 to 11. Moderna's updated booster is authorized for people ages 6 to 11 and 12 to 17. And now in your national headlines, a Florida jury is deciding today whether the gunman in the 2018 school shooting rampage in Parkland, Florida, will face the death penalty. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the closing arguments from both sides.
This morning, the fate of the Parkland, Florida school shooter is in the hands of a jury as the prosecution asks for death.
It's unrelentlessly cruel. The appropriate sentence for Nicholas Cruz is the death penalty.
Closing arguments were heard yesterday in the trial of Nicholas Cruz, who pleaded guilty to shooting and killing 17 people, 14 students and 3 teachers on Valentine's Day 2018 at his former school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. The prosecutor insisting that execution is the only appropriate punishment for Cruz, describing him as a cold-blooded killer, hunting in the hallways for victims with an AR-15.
Fires a third shot, and as she runs, he shoots her and severs her spinal cord.
and reminding the jury of Cruz's plan recorded before the murders.
Going to be the next school shooter of 2018.
The defense asking instead for a life sentence, calling Cruz, now 24, broken, suffering from a brain disorder caused by his biological mother's heavy drinking while pregnant, and claiming he did not get the care he needed from his adoptive mother.
Do we kill brain-damaged, mentally ill, broken people?
The defense claiming Cruz took responsibility for his actions by pleading guilty.
Sentencing Nicholas to life is the right thing to do.
The jury will be sequestered once deliberations begin today. All 12 jurors must agree in order for Cruz to be sentenced to death. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Picture perfect day here in southern New England. Blue sky across the board. Lots of fall colors out there. These leaves are going to end up being a little bit of a problem as we head through tomorrow night and into Friday because we have rain and wind in the forecast. That being said, enjoy the sunshine. Hopefully you can get some time outside today because it really is a winner of an October day. Our temperatures right now are in the low to mid 70s range. 72 in Providence, 70 in Smithfield, 73 in Norwood, 70 in New Bedford, upper 60s for our coastal locations. Average high for this time of year is 65 degrees. So we're clearly well above that, warmer than yesterday. Really, you can't beat it today. And we'll continue to see sunshine until your sunset happening at 6:09 this evening. The breeze right now is coming in from the west to the southwest, about 5 to 10 miles per hour at times, a little bit breezier than that, but overall not too much wind outside today. That also is going to be changing as we head into the coming days. So again, I'm stressing that you get some time outside today. High pressure remains in control. It's our nicest day on the 7-day forecast. We have more nice weather mixed in, but today's the day that's really picture perfect for the middle of October. A little bit of a wider view, though, is going to show you this system, and this is what we'll be tracking as we head into tomorrow night, and into Friday morning. You can see overcast conditions, rain. There may be some thunderstorm activity mixed in with this cold front. Hour by hour, you'll see the sun for the rest of the day today. Those clouds start to increase overnight. The first half of tomorrow looks mostly cloudy. You may even see some sun to start the day. A couple little spot showers, some sprinkles, but it's not until the afternoon. Now this is about 3 o'clock. You can see a few rounds of some heavier showers starting to come in. They're hit or miss through the afternoon and for your evening drive home tomorrow. But after the evening commute, we start to see more widespread rain moving into the area. And overnight, we have some very heavy rain expected. This is about midnight. Widespread heavy rain. There may be some thunderstorms embedded here and gusty winds. That's going to bring down a lot of leaves. It's going to leave ponding on the roadways, especially when you factor in the leaves blocking some of our storm drains. You'll continue to see rain through the morning commute on Friday. From there, though, we should dry out pretty quickly from west to east. So for areas in western Rhode Island, by mid to late morning, we're already drying out and clearing out. It'll take a little bit longer for spots farther to the east through eastern Mass for things to get completely cleared out. We will be much brighter as we head into the weekend, just a little bit cooler behind that cold front. We're looking at rainfall totals coming in from about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, although there may be some spots closer to 2 inches. So that will lead to some travel concerns overnight Friday and overnight Thursday into Friday morning. It's also going to be windy. The winds by tomorrow afternoon, gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour, and it'll stay windy overnight and through the day on Friday. This is midnight on Friday. You can see wind gusts coming in 25 to 35 miles per hour. There may be some gusts close to 40 miles per hour as we head through the overnight hours, again bringing down some of those leaves. But today looks nice, mainly sunny, temps in the low 70s range. Tonight we have more clouds, we have mild conditions, temps in the 50s, and tomorrow starts dry, but from there we have increasing clouds, the increasing breeze. Temperatures are still in the upper 60s, so it's still a mild day. It'll be in the afternoon that the rain starts to move in, some wind gusts coming in around 25 miles per hour during the daytime tomorrow. 25 to 35 for most of us for wind gusts overnight, Thursday into Friday, some isolated thunderstorms and rain. Then we gradually dry out as we head into Friday, and we'll be brighter into the upcoming weekend. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Still ahead here on the news at noon, how Starbucks is teaming up with Delta to help you combine rewards points from the air and the ground. Plus, the new addition to your Christmas drink menu, how Eggo is looking to bring your childhood into an adult drink this winter season. Back now with your consumer news. United Airlines plans to expand its transatlantic flying next summer. The schedule will include 3 new destinations: Dubai, Malaga, Spain, and Stockholm, Sweden. United also says it's redoubling efforts to prevent a repeat of the chaos travelers to Europe experienced this year. Understaffing at European airports produced misery for travelers, including hours-long lines at airports from London to Amsterdam. Well, Starbucks customers can now earn Delta Sky Miles. The coffee chain is partnering with Delta Airlines and awarding 1 mile for every $1 spent at Starbucks. As an additional perk, on days members are scheduled to fly Delta, they'll earn double stars or rewards points on their Starbucks orders. Customers will have to link accounts on a special website. And it is the holiday boozy treat you didn't know you needed. An Eggo-inspired cream liqueur. It's a chance for parents to enjoy one of their favorite items from childhood. The Eggo Nog Appellation Sippin' Cream is a rich rum-based liquor with cinnamon and nutmeg. It'll be available in select stores throughout the holiday season. You must be 21 and older to purchase. And appealing to the masses, Kircher Sunrise Orchards in Goshen, Indiana says it is a wonderful apple season with plentiful harvests ripe for picking. The fruit farm also has a pumpkin patch, hay rides, and a market. The co-owner says this year's apple crop is the best there since 2011. And no tall tale here. New Zealand's Wellington Zoo has welcomed 4 sets of ringtail Lemur twins, all of them born between August and just last week. That is 8 babies within 2 months. The infants all have the same father, Zeus, who arrived at the zoo this year. Ring-tailed lemurs are native to Madagascar, but they are considered to be endangered. And the RISD Museum is making headlines across the globe today. In Nigeria, an ancient bronze sculpture of a West African king that had been in a collection at the museum for some 70 years has been transferred back to the Nigerian National Collections. This is part of a larger worldwide movement to return these artifacts that were often stolen during colonial wars from African countries. The interim director of the RISD Museum says the statue was likely stolen centuries ago. Still to come here on the news at noon. We'll tell you how the Newport Mansions are celebrating Halloween with a spooky trick-or-treat invite with a ticket only. Plus, Chelsea has another look at your afternoon forecast right after this. Well, this might just be the coolest place to trick-or-treat. The Breakers in Newport. For the 3rd straight year now, the mansion will host a spooky evening full of treats and surprises. The Breakers decorated for Halloween with toys and treats. They'll be at stations throughout. There'll also be a photo station so you can make some memories like these folks did last year. This year's event is Friday, October 28th, and you better hurry. Tickets usually sell out, and you can see why.
You said they sell it fast too,
Yes,
right?
very, very quickly. I missed it last year trying to get them.
It sounds
Yeah.
so cool. I mean, they're probably haunted.
Yeah,
on
trick or
their
treating
own.
at the mansions?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely be a very
Yeah.
cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at not feeling at all like Halloween outside today. Not any of the Halloweens I grew up going up trick or treating. Hopefully we can get some nice warm weather by the end of the month. Today's beautiful. Tomorrow and Friday look overcast with rain moving into the area. The winds picking up. Worst of the conditions happen very late Thursday night into very early Friday morning. We stay breezy on Friday. We're still mild the next couple of days, and then you'll see partly sunny conditions on Saturday and Sunday. Will be a little bit cooler, but still seasonable. Another chance of some showers into next week. Looks a little bit cooler towards the middle of next week. Again, we're in the middle of the month, so hopefully we can hang on to some nice weather as we head through the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, my goodness. All right, what a day out there. Thanks, Chelsea. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.